something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not what Taylor is looking for right now. So that was the end of that bonfire.
Yeah.
And as you can see, a lot has transpired in 2 episodes. So yeah. All right, so now we move on to episode 3, and it starts out where the girls are at the bonfire. Shante gets to see Brian for the first, Brian for the first time, interacting with these other ladies. She gets to see the ladies say to him, you know, that he can be fulfilled sexually and emotionally, and she also got to see Brian getting whipped cream and stuff licked off of his neck. Shante is visibly upset about it. She feels like he already crossed some of their boundaries that they had set with each other that they agreed on, and she feels like he is tap dancing and kind of like right there on the line of highly inappropriate. Okay, he's already kind of like dipping his toe in the pool or whatever a little bit, right? So she's upset. She's upset about it, and she says that. But this is where you get an indication of where Shantae's mind is. She low-key blames the girl. She's like, those type of women, is really no accountability for what Brian is allowing to happen. You know, you don't see Brian saying, "No, I'm good. I'm good." He's allowing these things to happen, and I go back to what I said. He is responsible for his relationship. Nobody else is responsible for his relationship. And I'm saying, regardless, if he made a promise and if he told her something, he did the opposite, he's responsible. You know what I mean? He needs to be accountable for those actions. That's being an adult. Like, if you're not gonna do it, just don't. I just feel like as a human being, as a person, as a man, whatever, an adult, do what you say you're gonna do. That's it. And
but
he didn't
told
do
her
it.
what he wanted to do.
He's been telling her what he wanted to do, but he also said, "You can trust me. I'm not gonna embarrass you and do this." He did say that, and it was a test. He failed miserably. Okay, so anyway, but what's your take on that, babe? Because I do want to know, like, your opinion on that. You know,
on what, as far as
just like how she took watching him do that. Could you have used a little bit of self-control? It's only we're only on episode 2 at that point when he did that. I mean, he took no time.
I took it as she did not expect him to stick to their word.
Like, she knew in her heart that
she knew it.
And I get what you're saying. You're saying.
He probably, she. Also, it's her makeup and it's her, how she handles certain things. Obviously, she's his babysitter. In so many words. You know what I mean? Like, in the manner of, she takes care of him, whatever, and he can do it. Like you said, he kind of acts like the kid situation.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? She cleans up after him. It's,
she makes excuses for him.
She makes excuses for him. She makes all the issues kind of go away. And he doesn't have to be held accountable.
Right.
But going into a situation like that, with somebody like that, she knew what the likelihood was. Now, did she probably err on the side of hoping that he wouldn't do it? Probably. But deep down inside, I'm pretty sure she knew the latter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So then you have Taylor and Tyler. Taylor, the girl in the relationship, because I know their names are similar. She sees Tyler getting, like, I don't know if you want to call it a lap dance, a little twerky session with the girl named Kay. That got her a little bit hot up under the collar. She just like, what bothered her most about it, she even really wasn't tripping about the dancing. She was tripping about the words that came out of his mouth. Apparently, when they met, she kissed him for the first time, and he told her she's dangerous or she's bad or something like that. And Taylor was like, he said that same thing to me. I just think that that's crazy.
So,
and I feel that way low key too.
So what?
Maybe that's just how he talks. You know what I'm saying?
Guess what? She wasn't the first person he said it to. That's
right.
Like, people have this weird thing where they just like it's like no like suspension of disbelief. Like, oh my god, he said that. I'm like, no, the hell you're not. Okay, he said that before. Okay,
Right.
he said that to somebody.
It does seem like that's part of his like vocabulary.
Yeah,
like that's just kind of how he.
You know what I mean? It's just a saying. So, sorry y'all can't, but you know, that's just part of his thing. So like, you know, she wants to buck about it. Yeah, that was
That was because someone of us hit AI.
No, it was I think it was my hand gesture.
Oh, well, we can cut that.
Yeah, we'll cut this, right? Anyways, yeah, she needs to not trip about that. It's not that big of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she clearly was gonna, you know, kind of find a way to kind of have an issue with certain things. I feel so. Yeah, it did seem like she was looking like you know, kind of.
But then Ashley sees Grant on the boat. Ashley kind of was a little upset too when Grant was on the boat with the girl. Grant honestly at that point didn't really do anything. He was just sitting on the boat.
He was rubbing her girl's leg.
Yeah. He was rubbing her leg, and that same girl, they went and sat by the jacuzzi, and that is when, this is episode 1, that's when Grant is like, I don't know if this is the right relationship for me. I feel like maybe we're just not meant to be. I don't know where that came from. It's like he had this epiphany when he got on the dang boat. I don't know what happened, but nothing really happened per se for him to say that, but he felt that way.
I think he was just speaking how he felt. Yeah. Just like, I mean, and this is not in his favor. I think all these couples individually you get to a place where, you know, temptation or whatever, but you're separated from your partner, you're in this space, now you're kind of, you know, expounding upon the things that you actually feel. So he's talking out loud, probably what he's been feeling before they even came to the damn island. Like, this I don't feel like, and like I said, I don't fucking rock with this shit anyway. So
yeah. You're talking about Ashley again?
Yeah, I don't like her.
Oh my goodness, this child. Okay.
No, listen. She still the little pompous ass, you know what I'm saying? Want to talk. You know, because she thinks she look one. You can tell she's one of them people. Cause I ain't finna get no gender wars on here. She one of the people that think she look better than she do. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty.
She's sure. You know what I'm saying? She thinks that, but her mind, you can tell her mentality is very pompous. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has that to her. And she's with somebody, and Grant, who, you know what I'm saying, like, he probably, you know, he you know, obviously he got a little, you know what I'm saying, game or whatever, he can pull her. Yeah. And she don't like that. Because sometimes them people need to be put on a goddamn pedestal, and when they're not, and when they act a certain way, they can't deal with it. That's the vibe that she gets me. I don't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't rock with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, go. I mean, does Grant have his issues? Yes. I can say the same thing. Man, this shit ain't finna work. And I'm glad I got her ass to bring me a Temptation Island. Guess what? I'm gonna be tempted. There we go. And I'm talking about as Grant. I'm not talking about as me. I'm talking about as Grant. I went on there like, you know what, cool. She thought she was hot because she had extra bracelets or whatever. Guess what? I got one, and I'm gonna make this one work. How about that? Don't play with me.
That was kind of how some people only got one bracelet. I think Alex only got one.
And I look, man, I done worked that one bracelet like a 9 to 5. It'd have been a problem.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let's get back to the people. Okay, so after they leave Bonfire, they go back to the house, and Taylor starts talking about Tyler again. At this point, she sits up and tells this man she don't know, that Tyler is immature and has bitch tendencies. Them fighting words, y'all. Because I was sitting there like, I don't, bitch, you call any man a bitch, like, that's, no. Like, that's fighting words.
You call a man a bitch to us. Well, yeah, if you refer
in front of another man?
Hear me out. No, I get it. It's highly disrespectful. And that highly disrespectful shit happens all the time. It's just not on camera.
Get it.
So
I get it, but I'm just saying that you can tell, like, when they get in the house, they forget.
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
There and they just talk freely.
They talk how they normally would in private.
And one of these bonfires, Brian was sweating bullets. He was like, "Man, I remember it was like, I just know I said some stuff. I forgot the cameras was there."
That's the point, though.
But yeah, at this point, Grant's first initial person that he picked to date, they done fell off. He starts eyeballing. Well, Natalie, this girl in the house, starts getting a little close to him, starts flirting with him. He's starting to like her. She's giving him a lot of attention. They get in the jacuzzi. She, again, her privates is all up in his face in the jacuzzi.
That's the point.
What?
Go ahead.
It is. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a distraction. A vagina in your face. But yeah, it's like all in his face. They're talking. I don't even know what they're talking about. I'm not really sure if they knew what they were talking about. They get out that jacuzzi, and then I need y'all to keep in mind, Grant at this point, he pretty much said he's single. Like after he heard what Ashley had to say on that tape, he was like, bet, right? So he's still trying to practice a little bit of restraint, but he's like cuddling with her against the rules, cuddling with her on the couch, very close, very high sexual tension with them two. Like I thought they were gonna have sex that night. Like I did. Because remember, they were like standing in the hallway and she was all up on him and stuff like that. And he was trying like he didn't want to touch her, but he kind of was touching her. It was a lot going on right there. But neither, they went on about their business the rest of the night. So he was successful. He didn't mess up that night. Okay.
Yeah. As hell, I guarantee you. Like, God damn.
They have the next day, they wake up, they do this little paint race. That was the whole thing. Basically, it was real, again, sexual. Girls put paint on them, jump all over the guys, and try to get as much paint off their bodies onto the guys, humping them and whatnot. Grinding on them and all the things. At that point, Brian talks to another girl named Alex, the one that likes to suck.
Yeah.
He's talking to her at the pool, the jacuzzi or whatever, and he's basically just talking about his relationship with Shante again. And he's saying that he's just really into threesomes. Alex explains to him that she's the same exact way that he is, that she, doesn't really do relationships, that she kind of just hooks up with people that she initially meets. They're her friends, and then she has sex with them. Alex is in a phase of her life where, she's in her hoe phase. Everybody has a hoe phase. So I'm not judging her. I'm just saying she's very upfront with that.
Her whole phase is a whole phase. What the hell is going on? That motherfucker ain't got nothing better to do with her life.
But anyway, so they get back to the house. Taylor then asks Kay for a second date, or ask her on a date. I don't know if they had gone on a first date. Asked her on a second date, I believe. No, second date. And that's when he really starts connecting with Kay. Like, he's kind of like, he really, really likes her. She's free-spirited. She is not judging him.
And they like, them two from the jump were just a vibe. Like, they're
they were.
A good vibe, like.
They were.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot of different ways. So, like, yeah.
So on this same episode, remember I said the night before, Grant and Natalie, they did not take it further. They did not kiss. At the end of this episode, Grant and Natalie kiss. No, they kiss outside. And that is where the line is completely all the way crossed, and that's when Grant has decided to move on. Basically, he says he doesn't believe his relationship's gonna work out, and that's that. That's the end of episode 3. Okay. All right, so then we get into episode 4. Episode 4 introduces new singles. I don't really know why they did it like this, but basically each house had to eliminate 2 of the singles out of their house. And then I thought they were gonna eliminate them and that'd be it, but then they brought in 2 new singles for each group, for the men's group and the women's group. That didn't really like do anything for the show. The people that they brought in didn't really add anything to the show. It seemed like, even though this is only episode 4, people had already started to build bonds with the people that were already in the house, close friendships and whatnot. So the new people coming in, it was kind of like, like they're not really trying to deal with them too much. So that was that. On this episode, Brian starts to flirt more with Alex. At one point, he's in the bathroom with Alex. I got an indication that they did something in that bathroom because she was like pulling down her skirt and he was like, this looks highly inappropriate. And he was like covering his meat coming out the bathroom. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure she might do a little touchy.
Second base action.
Pretty sure, again, inappropriate, but okay.
I mean,
yeah. So they come out the bathroom. So, yeah, while that's going on, Shante is in her room reading her Bible and then going to bed. While Brian is in the bathroom with Alex, which is a little crazy.
Man, she was like, they were drinking, you make sure she was good, and he's falling, hit her head on the commode or something. That's all he's doing. Don't judge him like
that. Shut up. Kay and Tyler, they decided they want to do a little sleepover. Nothing really going on. They just slept in the same bed. I want to say they might have cuddled. At that point, Tyler, he's starting to kind of move on from Taylor because of the things that she said. He was all butthurt over, and he just felt like she doesn't respect him. So he was just like, I'm going to move around then type of thing. So he's feeling Kay. They have a little sleepover, but they do not cross the line of sexual, at least as far as we know. They didn't kiss. They just, I guess, cuddled or whatever.
Friendly little sleepover.
Which me and him were watching and we're like, okay, like he's, I feel like he was taking his time. He wasn't like rushing into, even though he really liked Kate, because he liked her pretty quickly. He wasn't like trying to jump her bones and stuff right away. He was like, actually, I felt like trying to get to know her, So, yeah. And as you can see, the singles in the house, that's what makes the show so interesting. They're looking for a partner. Some of them are. Some of them are looking for Alex. Like Alex, she's just looking for some dick. But others are looking for a partner or to take that person away from the person that they're already with because they want a relationship. So that adds another element to this show that I don't think a lot of people talk about. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And here's your favorite part. Would you like to say what Grant did on this episode?
My man.
Grant is
dude, hold on, no, I got this. Grant handled this business. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Simple as that.
That's just because you don't like Ashley.
I don't like Ashley, but at the same time, if you're going, man.
Do you know how hard
question.
To watch a person have sex with somebody else, like on camera and front? Like that's crazy work. Like I get you don't like her, but I can sympathize with the fact that she had to watch that. Like that's horrible. That's a horrible feeling.
It probably is. Truthfully, I'm being very inconsiderate.
He's sweet.
And I don't care. But I mean, I can imagine that's very hard. But you know the status of your relationship before you go into the house.
Yeah.
You know the person that you're going into or on the island with.
Yeah, that's what you keep saying.
You know your status and you know who this person is.
Yeah.
And so now, and you sit up there talking greasy about me on top of that. Who knows the conversation that was had prior to us getting on this island? Who knows what it was? So I can't necessarily say that he's a horrible person just because that happened and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. And especially maybe he made his mind up to a certain extent at that point that it wasn't going to be that type of situation. So that's the whole thing.
Yeah. So that's
no
that.
technical error, y'all. You can see us messing with that short thing was all those things.
So we're trying to work it out. But anyway,
yeah, go Grant.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, but in true Grant fashion, weak ass fashion, Grant immediately has regrets about sleeping with Natalie.
This was
immediately. He sits down with Tyler and he's telling him that he feels terrible. He's like near tears. He was like he still loves Ashley and he just feels horrible about it. And he knows that when she watches that, that's gonna break her heart. Okay. And what he's talking about is the bonfire. When she sees what he did at the bonfire, it's gonna break her heart. He then yeah, that's not it. But so then you go to the bonfires. Maybe they get to the bonfires and they start with Shantae. Shantae sees Brian coming out this bathroom with Ashley. Shantae notes that she feels that's very inappropriate. It's crossing boundaries that they agreed that would not be crossed.
Hold on, pause. What boundary?
He came out the bathroom, like touching. Obviously, they were touching.
It's not obvious. He just kind of. She was like stumbling.
Unless you come out the bathroom.
We're not. See, we're not talking. We're talking about Brion.
And see if it's not inappropriate because it's inappropriate. Like you're in a relationship.
But what did he do that was inappropriate?
He shouldn't have been in the bathroom with another girl. They clearly no, he was
being
not.
A gentleman.
No, he wasn't. This is Brion we're talking about. No, he was not. He was in there doing some shicey shit in that bathroom, and I believe that wholeheartedly. And he shouldn't have been in the bathroom alone with that girl. He just shouldn't have. It's all about. She felt just fine.
See, that's what
if she threw up, it's probably gagging off of his.
See, what I'm saying is this: there is no confirmation that any lines were crossed. That he did it.
It doesn't matter. That's inappropriate.
So that means that a person could just jump to conclusions.
It doesn't mean that. What it means is, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should not be coming out of the bathroom with a girl with her skirt pulled up and clearly pulling it down when she comes out the bathroom, and you holding your.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
That's inappropriate.
Let me ask you. Hold on a second. Let me ask you a question.
There's no.
At any point. Can that be read wrong? She's wearing this.
No, because he shouldn't have been in there. He shouldn't have been in there. If it was the case he was trying to help her and she was sick, door would have been open. You would have heard her throwing up. That is not what went on that tape, and you know it. And we're not gonna be here playing dumb because ain't nobody dumb. Shantae might be playing dumb.
I'm saying,
but a lot of women ain't about to be playing.
Okay. What I'm saying is, there's no confirmation that he did anything inappropriate. Yes. Could something have happened? Absolutely. Could she have, she had been drunk, stumbling, whatever, he's making sure she's straight? That is completely a possibility.
It wasn't. Because she wasn't something coming out. We saw the footage. You're making up stuff. That's not what happened. And on top of that, it is a thing called, if you care about your relationship, don't put yourself in stupid situations where something can happen. You're putting yourself in a situation where something can happen. You shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, so question. So let's take Brion out of it. Somebody has one too many shots. They're stumbling. Can I just?
You're making up something.
All right, Brion tried.
Like I said, no, we didn't see what he did, but the fact that he went in that bathroom, he shouldn't have done that. He had no business in the bathroom with her. And all the women in that house, a girl could have took her to the bathroom.
I've been in the bathroom with a lot of women and not been anything sexual happen or any sexual intent.
Did you watch the same episode that we watched?
I did. All I'm saying is,
aware of what he did.
He has plausible deniability. There's no guarantee he did anything. That's all I'm saying.
Nobody's saying, okay, if you're saying that's true that he didn't do anything, he should not. What my point is, don't put yourself, you are obligated to protect your relationship. Right. Not that girl, not the show, not nothing. Don't do nothing that I could even think that you're sitting up there doing something. That's your job to protect your relationship. He should not have been at the bathroom with that girl. It don't look right. And it makes Shantae look stupid. That's not right. Like, you can't say you love somebody and out here making somebody look stupid. Like, it don't work that way.
I know when to stop talking.
Anyway, you got me hot. Damn. Let's see. Then what happens? Oh, Ashley sees Grant kiss Natalie for the first time. She was upset, but she said she was numb to it. She was just kind of like, to be expected.
She looks like
that's his type of behavior. And her takeaway from that was she's single now. She went back to the house and she told all the men she was single. Taylor's upset because she's seeing this connection that Tyler is having with Kay, and it's upsetting her and she's starting to feel unworthy. She used those exact words. She feels like, why would he do that to her? And that's kind of how Taylor feels about it. I know you and I had like an opinion on Tyler. We weren't as hard on Tyler, and the reason why is because Tyler was 19 when he got married. And like I explained earlier in, the episode or whatever, he met Taylor when he was like going through a separation period and they started dating. And with him being so young, he truly has not been out here in these streets like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't done that. So it was kind of like, okay, he's still really young and he's just trying to find himself, and maybe just the timing of meeting Taylor was just bad timing.
Yeah, he met her in the transition period. Yeah, he was young. You can meet somebody in the transition period and be okay, and you can meet somebody young and be okay.
Yeah.
The combination of two, it can still, but it does lend to the fact that you may have some complications in the long run. So, Yeah.
So then that's when we'll move to episode 5 where they start the bonfire. Or no, they had already started the bonfire. So, the men are now talking. Taylor hears Tyler say he has bitch tendencies. And that just basically, for him, it was just like, okay, yeah, she disrespects me all the time. She doesn't respect me. She doesn't value me as a partner. And she talks down on me. And again, that kind of gave him his green light to continue his thing with Kay.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, kind of. I think he didn't take it and run with it.
Yeah.
He just said, okay, that's how she sees me, then and be like, because what can he do at that point?
Yeah. So that was that, and then the tents are introduced. Do you want to explain the tents?
Yeah. So, they introduced the tents. I forget what they call them. They had actual name to them, but it's a tent where you can go. No cameras, no nothing. There is audio though. It's mic'd up and whatnot. But when you go in the tent, yeah, it's still mic'd up. You go in the tent, it alerts the other house with a siren and lights to let you know somebody at the other house has taken another person into the tent for some private time. Which to me, the concept of the tent is stupid. This is why. It's a mind thing. So it's kind of like, I'm gonna let this person know.
But you don't know if that's even your person.
That's cool.
You see the light, you're like,
it's a way to give a person like to be able to manipulate from a distance. Essentially,
yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
Be able to manipulate from a distance. So I guess not wanting to do stuff on video, but It's not like they on Netflix or stuff anyway. So it's definitely it's a Mega. It's a can't think of the word, but yeah, it's a way to manipulate from a distance. Is what it is. So,
yeah,
and they introduced that this episode. So.
Yeah, and at this point, so once this is introduced, to get back to the house, like I said, Alex declares that she is Alex. Wait, no. Who declares they're single? I think it's Ashley declares that she's single and decides that she wants to utilize this tent for manipulation during this episode. She's one of the people that gets in the tent. Yeah. And at the guy's house, the tent goes off, and Shante loses it because at their house, their house is getting lit up. She laying in the bed, her house is getting lit up, and she wakes up kind of, I guess, out of her sleeper when she was starting to go to sleep, and you see Taylor come in her room and try to like console her because she's like sobbing. She's just like, I hope that it's not him.
Pause.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about with her and and them going to the house. This is the whole manipulation from a distance. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even him.
Yeah. We're not
she said
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm saying that it's the long.
It wasn't, yeah.
Because you're speaking about her reaction, so I the front. But look at her reaction. Look at how she, responded to just the thought.
Yeah, she freaked out.
She freaked out. It's like, yo, there are other dudes over there.
Yeah.
So it's like, chill out. Like, why did you come here?
It kind of says something too, though, because it's like for you to automatically think that it's him, like you said, that means that he about that life. Like you get
honestly, I said this one. Like she has some real insecurities.
Yeah.
That she needs to figure out.
Yeah.
Because like you're putting yourself in this. The whole point of this, you go in that house or on that island. It's like you have to know the risk and reward. You're gonna have one or the other. So it's like, all right, is it worth it? Okay, yes, go, no, go. Mm-hmm. If you know what the risks are, then don't go. And if you can't deal with it, yeah, she clearly.
But you made a point early on when we started watching the show. If you notice, we don't talk about two people a whole lot, and there's a reason why. Alex and Leon, we don't talk about them a lot because
they knew they were going in there with the right intention.
They went in there with the right, like Leon basically, he held his composure. He would talk to the ladies here and there, but he wasn't overly flirtatious. He knew what he wanted. He knew he wanted his relationship to work, and he was working on himself. And he truly was. I think he did wanted to see if, he could be tempted. You know what I'm saying? But he loved Alex enough to not do that to her. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't do it. And Alex did the same thing on her end. That's why we don't talk about them a whole lot, because they really held each other down for the most part. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where you were saying, like, a show like that could really make your relationship stronger if you go in there and you do what you're supposed to do.
It's the type of show that will reveal things one way or another.
Yeah.
If you go in there, if you're, and no disrespect with what I'm about to say, but if you're stupid enough to take somebody on a show like this that you know, not that you think, not that you assume, that will cheat on you or do something like that, then that's on you. That's your fault. Mm-hmm. But you can go on a show like this and test the, the solidarity of your relationship. I truly feel that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I said that at first I was fighting you on that.
Yeah, she's like, nah.
But when I saw those two, I saw Alex and them, I was like, okay, I could see, like, you don't have to fall for that stuff if you really care about your relationship.
And clearly, like, girl, we'll be honest, like, you know what I'm saying? She knew what it was from the jump, and I think she may have did certain things and that's why I said the babysitter thing, because I think she, with her mentality from what I seen, she didn't even be on the show. Mm. I think she did the show to pacify.
Do you think he convinced
her?
I think it was more, and he seems highly manipulative.
Yeah, she's clearly susceptible.
Yeah. So I feel like he convinced her, like, no, I could totally do it, but he went on there to do what he ultimately did. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that goes into what we're about to talk about now, because that light went off, and although it was not Brion, simultaneously, Brian was in the bathroom getting it popping with Courtney and Alex having a threesome. No, you could not see it, but you heard. What did Netflix say?
Repeatedly wet smooth.
Shit.
But here's the thing though.
Should say repeatedly
Wet
slapping.
Slapping, yeah.
Is
I mean,
the captions.
he was in there doing what he do. And listen, here's the thing. He came there with an intent, and he did what he wants, what he came there for. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I personally think to a certain extent, it was like, hey, get it out your system. She didn't want him to, but I think he let her know. That's why I said, like, I think he let her know that if I had the opportunity to do this and get this out, I'm going to do it. I think he let her know that. That's why she reacted.
Watching what ends up happening with this show, I'm slowly starting to hear what you're saying. Yeah. Like, right? Crazy part though. They come out the bathroom. It's early morning hours. They've been getting it popping all night. And they come out the bathroom.
How you get it popping like all night in the bathroom though? Like all night. It's morning. The birds are goddamn. Ain't no carpet in the bathroom. What are y'all doing? Like, are y'all taking time laying on the counter?
All night, but maybe it was like a few hours. Maybe they went in there.
I ain't sitting in the bathroom for a few hours.
I don't know.
Listen.
I don't know how threesomes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like, I don't know if it's time consuming or not. But
look, I know when to stop talking.
So they come out the bathroom, and there was this moment where it's just like, as a woman, I recognize this dude that Brian is when he comes out this bathroom. Brian gets on that bed. He literally comes out the bathroom like he ain't done nothing. Lays down in the bed. The ladies gather their things. They chunk deuce and they walk off. They're about their business. At this moment, Brian says, I know I did what I did, but I have no regrets. And
you don't have a reason to.
And yeah. And he, in so many words, he said he felt like Shante would respect that he did that. And that,
I think that's what he told her every time.
Right. And that, I guess he said something like being honest or something. Or whatever. Yeah. But basically he said he got out his system and it did nothing for him. Yeah. I question that. Yeah. I question that because, like I told Jay, it's like you already had Brian had, we have to understand that Brian had already been having threesomes before he met Shante, and probably while he was with Shante. I don't know. But what we do know for sure is that it was his lifestyle. He was having threesomes. So this wasn't new to him. This wasn't a goal he wanted to check off and do because he had never done before. This is something that he had already you know what I mean? Had already done. So, I think he would never stop. He don't have a reason to.
That's true. Yeah.
He don't have a reason to. Like, you know. But anyway, so that's that. And, that was a big thing for that episode. Ashley starts to connect with a guy named Danny, and she ends up in the tent with Danny. That's who set off the light on the girl's side. When the guy saw the light go off, it was on the girl's side. Yeah. So that's it. That was it for episode 5.
No, actually, the tent when it went off, it was when they seen it when she thought it was on. That was actually Grant.
Oh, that was Grant. Grant did go in the tent with, yeah. Oh, by the way.
Because the girl said on first and then Grant ran in.
Yeah, so Grant continues to sleep with Natalie for the duration of the show. Like, that is basically his girlfriend for the rest of the show, to the end. He's sleeping with her. So it wasn't really even necessarily for them to go in the tent because they had already slept together in the shower, like we said. But they are the ones that set off the tent the night that Shante was upset. Yeah. So that episode ends with Ashley going into the tent with, I think his name is Brian or Brandon, something like, I think his name is Brandon. Anyway, she has like a little connection with him, but they ain't doing nothing in that tent. They just kind of I think they make kiss in that tent. That's it.